does anyone remember Sexy Vegan?
Gimme that booty. Gimme that booty. I want your booty.
Yes, classy, I know. Sexy Vegan, for those who don't know, went on Dr. Phil a few times. The first time because Sexy Vegan's mother was getting a bit fed up of having to constantly bail him out, with him being arrested about 15 times up until the first episode. Oddly, it wasn't the mother, though, that initially put in the complaint and got him on the show, actually. That would be his sister, Raquel, who was kind of sick and tired of the mother enabling Sexy Vegan's behaviour. Now, the first time Sexy Vegan was escorted off the show, because upon entering the stage, he got a bit rude and abrasive. And Dr. Phil wouldn't tolerate it. Now, he did go back a second time and apologised, which was lovely and led to this lovely photo. Beautiful. I am sure many of you are asking yourselves, Omegon, why are you calling him Sexy Vegan all the time? Surely he has a name. He does. It's Sexy Vegan. You see, he changed his name legally from Hansel Marion de Bartolo III to Sexy Vegan. Because in case you didn't know, he's a sexy vegan. The TV show in question of Dr. Phil, the episode was titled, My Brother Changed His Name to Sexy Vegan, Wears Speedos in Public, and is spending my mother's $11 million inheritance. If you simply go into YouTube and type Sexy Vegan Dr. Phil, you'll get it. Since his occupation kind of fluctuates here and there because he's busy being a sexy vegan, you'd be surprised to learn that his current occupation, upon informing the arresting officers, and we'll get to that in a moment, is a 2020 presidential candidate. Now, who doesn't want this man on the international stage? Who doesn't want this man sat with Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, Jean-Claude Juncker, or whoever it is that's replacing him, or even meeting Jeremy Corbyn, should he be installed as the caretaker prime minister? I can see it now. Sexy Vegan rules the world. Makes veganism so trendy that the hipsters now eat meat, ironically. I don't need my sarcasm sign, do I? Come on. Sexy Vegan, this was all in like 2017, by the way. Sexy Vegan is now in the news again. This time, Sexy Vegan was arrested because he, well, as a video, I can't show the video, of him performing a sex act on a Pitbull, which I have to say is one of the bravest things you could ever do, I think. I'm almost certain at this point this guy qualifies as a mad lad, but give it time. I'm sure that Sexy Vegan has much more time left to do more outrageous things. Is it not enough that he regularly walks this Pitbull, carries a full-length mirror and walks around in Speedos for the majority of the time? Now, Sexy Vegan has been arrested for performing an act of bestiality on a Pitbull, according to Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Office. 2 dogs have been removed from Sexy Vegan's home by the Los Angeles County Department of Animal Care and Control when detectives served a search and arrest warrant. Sexy Vegan has pleaded not guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges, 1 count for sexual assault on an animal and 1 count for posting obscene matter. I can't be the only person thinking, surely this is not a misdemeanor, surely this is a bit more. But I'm not going to criticize too much. I'm still somewhat impressed at the absolute bravery of this idiot. Sexy Vegan is currently on probation for an unrelated charge outside the Santa Clarita area at the time of his arrest, or was. He is now currently being held in custody on a $35,000 bail and is due to appear back in court on October the 10th, where he faces up to a year in prison if he is found guilty. Yeah, the video is very damning, so he's going to be looking at some very serious time. At least when he goes into prison, he won't have to tell anyone what his name is. It's literally tattooed on his face in the worst shade of blue you could put on a guy. He now just looks greasy. Although I will admit, it will certainly be very interesting to see them cater to his vegan needs while other guys are pumping him with their own meat. I'm sure he'll enjoy that. Before someone says, oh, you're making light of prison rape. No, I'm not. I'm insulting someone who assaulted a dog. Learn the context, you pedantic shit. Somewhat interestingly, while he has claimed his current occupation as 2020 presidential candidate, there is no current record of him having filed with the Federal Election Committee, meaning he is essentially president in waiting, but not legitimate in the slightest. Now, it should be noted that Sexy Vegan is nothing more than a glorified man-child, coming from a very wealthy background. Obviously that inheritance undoubtedly is on the back of his mind, but he wasn't always this way. There's a picture of him before he made his little transition to being a sexy vegan, literally, and this is it. That is quite a drastic change to go from somebody that looked quite, well, I'd say handsome actually, to somebody that now looks like they are what has replaced animal testing. And it should be noted and accepted that because of his entitled behaviour, it is unlikely he'll change. This guy's hardly getting any younger. His decision to wear skimpy outfits because he is after all a sexy vegan and proud of it. His decision to bugger animals because he's a giver, everyone. A real giver. His decision to constantly cost his family money, granted they have it, but cost them nonetheless, being enabled by the same family and be blind and oblivious to doing something better for himself because he is waiting to receive his inheritance instead of earning his own way in life. He's a damning statement, I guess, and I'm sure people like Paul Joseph Watson would make a video with him as the avatar for the level of entitlement in California. I won't say that. I will only say he serves as a warning to those that believe they are entitled to something that is not yet theirs. With Sexy Vegan, my advice is simple. Do something for yourself, but don't expect everyone else to prop you up. Make your own way in life, knowing that you are stable. You are able to care for yourself. Because if others are having to constantly bail you out, eventually they are going to stop. You can only be a sexy vegan for so long, and just as a thing, calling yourself sexy and vegan in prison. I earlier made a joke that some would say was a rape joke. No, but if you go around telling people you're sexy, it's going to get a response. I'm not sure how prison reacts when they find out you've buggered a dog. With Sexy Vegan, I'm very interested to know what you think about Sexy Vegan, about his choices when it comes to clothing or the lack thereof. By the way, I'm just glad the S on the Speedos hasn't fallen off. That just opens up a huge can of, yeah, no. I'm very interested to know what you think about the fact that he has been seen on video now buggering an animal, and of his somewhat eccentric behaviour, because I believe he needs to be sectioned before he goes after the puppies. He won't do that. I know he won't do that, because he's got a whole year in prison to survive yet. I'm kidding, he hasn't been sentenced yet. But it would be very funny to see what would happen with him in prison. And I'm very interested to know what you think about him, because he's crazy. Genuinely crazy. To finish, there is a new video over on the Moisty Live channel about Preeti Patel. If you're interested, it's linked below. Also, I'm going to be streaming on Omegon Plays tonight at 9 PM GMT. So I hope you'll have a lovely day, and thank you all for listening.